Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Amanda, and today I'm sharing 3 delicious potato recipes with you. I hope you are potato lovers because these are absolutely delicious. So if you're ready to get cooking, grab that crock pot and let's go. For this recipe here, we will be making garlic butter steak bites with potatoes. So I have stew meat, a little over a pound, I guess. Some potatoes, you can use any potatoes that you want to. You'll need garlic, butter, onion, and then I'm going to be using this seasoning here. So now we're literally just going to dump everything in the crock pot. So I'm going to put my meat in there, my onions, my potatoes that I did wash, and then I'm going to put, are they called pats when you cut up the butter like that? I think that's what it's called. I'm going to place that all over the top here, and I did end up using a whole stick. You can use as much as you want to. And then I'm using, again, the Kinder's steak seasoning blend. If you think you have enough seasoning, just add a little more. I feel like that's the way it goes with the crockpot meals. And then I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of garlic. I feel like every recipe that I'm sharing today is very forgiving, so you season with your heart. And then, you know how I do it. I like to cook it low and slow for 8 hours. So a few hours in, I went ahead and gave this a mix, kind of broke up my meat a little bit, and then I closed the lid and let it finish cooking. Now dinner is done and I'm going to get this plated up. Now I do feel like I had an onion mix, a soup mix in the pantry, and I was thinking about adding that into this recipe, but I honestly didn't want it to be too much like my beef and mushroom gravy mix that I did a few videos back. That was super delicious. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. But I didn't want it to be too much like that, but this recipe is super delicious and you definitely have to try it. And I just ended up making some green beans on the side. You can obviously eat this however you want to, but again, this is so good. We are going to be making zuppa. And for this recipe, you will need chicken broth, garlic, heavy whipping cream, Parmesan cheese, sausage, 1 onion. I do chop mine up and freeze them in the freezer. You'll need 1.5 pounds of chopped potatoes. I'm using rustic potatoes, 2 cups of chopped kale, some pepper, salt, and crushed red pepper. So starting off, I'm going to go ahead and start cooking my sausage in my pan here. You can use any sausage that you like. I'm going to add in my onion and start cooking this down. Once it is cooked, I'm going to add 2 garlic cloves, which if you're using garlic, it's 2 teaspoons of garlic. And then I'm just going to let it cook for another couple minutes. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put my meat mixture into the crock pot here. And as I was cooking the meat, I went ahead and diced my potatoes. I did peel them as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 cups of chicken broth. If you want it to be a little more soupier than what it's going to be, you can go ahead and add the whole entire thing, honestly. And then once I got that in there, I went ahead and started seasoning it. So I used a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and then I sprinkled in some crushed red pepper. Add as much as you want to. And then again, I cooked this low and slow for 8 hours. So now when you're ready to eat dinner, you're going to go ahead and add the rest of your ingredients in. And I did a little more than 2 cups of chopped kale. As I was putting it in there, I was just kind of shoving it down. I wanted to use as much as I could without wasting a bunch of it. And then I added in a 1/4 cup of the Parmesan cheese and then 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Now, like I said, you want to do this before you're ready to eat. This was actually Halloween night. We just got back from trick-or-treating, still in my costume. And so I went ahead and put this in and then went and changed and got the boys changed and then ended up making our bowls. So now the soup is all done and I'm going to go ahead and make my bowl here. I've been making zuppa for the past couple years now and I've always made it on the stove. I don't know why I never thought about making it into the crock pot, and it is so delicious. We absolutely love zuppa. And if you didn't know, Olive Garden actually has zuppa as well, and that's where I kind of got the thought about making it at home because I love the soup. It is so, so good. So for this recipe here, we are making chicken and potatoes. So you'll need 1 pound of chicken. I'm using chicken thighs and they were on a bone, so I cut them up and diced them. You'll need some potatoes. I got a 2-pound Southern style hash brown potatoes. You'll need some heavy whipping cream, bacon bits. I got mild cheddar and mozzarella cheese. For my seasonings, I am going to do Italian seasoning, some Slap Yo Mama, mixed up salt, and black pepper. Now you can use any seasoning you want to. This is a very forgiving recipe, I feel like, but those are the ones that I'm going to use. So now I'm just going to start off by spraying my crock pot really good, as much as you want to. Mine was actually running out, so it's a little smoky. And then I'm going to add about half of the bag of potatoes at the bottom of the crock pot. And then I'm going to go ahead and season it with all my seasonings. Again, measure with your heart, use what you want to. And then I do give this a little mix just to kind of get the seasonings all worked in those potatoes there. Now I'm going to put the chicken on top of the potatoes. We are not mixing any of this stuff up. It is layers. So we got our potatoes seasoned, and now we're adding our chicken, and we are going to season that as well. Now for our last layer here, I am putting the rest of the potatoes on top and just straightening those out, and then I'm going to season these as well. Now that I have all that seasoned up, I'm going to go ahead and add in my heavy whipping cream, and you want about 3/4 cup. I just used what I had and it was about half of a container, and you want to evenly spread that on top there. And that's it. You're going to let this cook low and slow for 8 hours. You can always do high if you want to as well. I did end up letting it cook low for a few hours, and then I ended up switching it to high for 4 hours. Do what you want. And now here's where you're going to add in your cheese. When you are ready to eat, sprinkle on your cheddar cheese and your mozzarella, and then you are going to sprinkle on some bacon bits as well. Close the lid, let it melt. You are ready to serve it. now it is ready to serve, and this recipe is so good. It is so flavorful. You want to season it with your heart. So delicious. And then I just made it with a side of carrots, and of course I did add more cheese on top and some bacon bits because, you know, cheese, amazing. But that is going to be it for today's video. If you like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe for more. I do share cooking videos on Fridays and then cleaning videos every Sunday. I hope to see you guys in the next one.